you know there is a controversy that is brewing in country music right now, and it has to do with female country artists, because there have been some experts who know, well, let's say they know what they're talking about when it comes to programming country music radio stations, say, look, really, if you play a lot of female artists, you're going to drive down your ratings. They've come up with a formula that says that, you know, the ultimate number of female artists should be 15%. 15% of your songs should be from female artists, 85% from people like, you know, Blake Shelton and Luke Bryan and people of that ilk. If you play more women than that, your numbers are going to go down. Female artists are absolutely apoplectic about this. And so I was thinking, who could we talk to in country music who would have something interesting to say? And regrettably, I couldn't come up with anybody, but I did talk to my friend Larry Gatlin.
Oh. Well, that's a good way to start an interview.
Unbelievable. Larry's got to stick together against Texans like this.
Yeah, Larry.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, here it comes.
God made Adam and Eve, and he gave them the apple, and ever since then, the women have been apoplectic.
Oh, see?
There you go. See, I use big words like that, and I'm from Odessa, too. Hey, Larry Gatlin, I want you to weigh in. Now, and look, this guy says that if you play too many female artists, that you will drive down your numbers, and people in country music are saying, well, that's it's old-fashioned thinking, and women artists are all up in arms about it. Is the guy right, or is the guy wrong?
I wonder if the expert is smarter than the country girl singers. That's just it begs the question: is the expert smarter than the country girl singers? Look, this is really weird territory for me. I love country music. I love music. Period. Country singers have all musicians, all entertainers, all singers who ever have had a record on the radio. We all have had our moments of all-out war with radio stations, with programmers. Let me tell you something. If anybody has a right to be torqued off about all this, I think it could be Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers, because they won't play our records either just because I have gray hair.
Well, but you are not answering the question.
What if you were the Gatlin sisters?
Well, it's early. It's early. I mean, what else have you got to do? I've got a good. I don't have to be at the airplane for 3 hours.
But now I want to know: is he right about this, though? I asked you this yesterday, and you told me a story about Conway Twitty and what he told you one time.
There's no question. Conway Twitty, one of the greats in the history of country music. See, here's what we do know. Here's what we know. More records are bought by women than are bought by men. That is one of the facts that I'm sure the expert will bring out in all of his analysis.
Well, he says that women don't like listening to other women.
There's no question. I mean, now look, there are certain songs, Divorce, and I know that young Taylor Swift really has hit a strong note with the younger women. My granddaughters made me listen to Taylor Swift. I didn't want to listen to Taylor Swift. I'm a grown man. And all of a sudden, my granddaughters brought me a song, and you got to listen to this. It said, someday I'll be living in a big old city. All you're ever going to be is mean. Someday I'll be too big for you to hit me. All you're ever going to be is mean. My granddaughters brought me that record, and I went, oh, my God. Listen to what this young lady of 14 or 15 years old is saying. She is saying that someone bigger than she is has hit her. And I started listening to the young woman's music, and she has caught a vein in the psyche of America. And I thought, rock on, Taylor. You're doing great. She was the voice of the women in America, young sisters, wives, girlfriends, whatever, who had been beat up by somebody older and bigger than they were. So I started listening to the young woman, and she's very intelligent, and other girls do listen to her. There's no question about that.
But she's not a country star really anymore. I mean, you can't call her last few albums country music.
Well, I know, but people are too caught up on trying to label, things. I think it's just good music or it's not good music.
Well, but this conversation is specific to country, though, because you're talking about programming on country radio stations. So I'm looking at the top 10 downloads from iTunes so far in 2015. And looking at the top 10 here, I'll read them off real fast because this, I think, focuses very much so on what you just said, that women tend to buy more music than men. We're talking Florida Georgia Line, that's a men's group, Thousand Horses, men's group, Chris Jansen, Thomas Rhett, Eric Church, Bill Currington, Blake Shelton, Sam Hunt, Luke Bryan, and then here, number one is Little Big Town, but that's half men, half women. Are you suggesting, as what Conway Twitty said, that because women are buying the music, they like those, young, good-looking country male singers, and that's why they're buying it?
Well, if the ladies, women, girls, sometimes we don't know what to call them, one night 5 females wouldn't go on the Roy Orbison tribute many years ago because they said these 5 ladies. They held up for an hour until they said these 5 women. I was backstage with B.B. King. He said, Gatlin, women is crazy. So that's my B.B. King story. But look, that's true. I'm telling you, it's the God's truth.
Yeah, hold on, Gatlin. Is the guy right or is he wrong?
Yeah. The statistics say he's right.
So you think he's right?
I absolutely think he's right. If they want to get mad at me, I don't care because I've got my Social Security and my retirement. And believe it or not, the women in country music can't fire my ass.
Do you decry what country music has become?
No, I do not. I'm rooting for all of them.
Yeah.
The people who say it's... Wait, we never did tell what Conway Twitty. 41 number one records in a row. And I dare you to find one thing that he said bad about a woman. He never put down a woman in a song in all 41 of them. Because he said, women buy records. We're not going to make the women mad. Now, look, they can get mad about it if they want to. Radio is programmed to sell the most toothpaste, the most hair gel, plots in the cemetery, whatever widgets they're selling. And the old boy didn't make all these observations out of thin air. So there's that. Look, the deal about country music, people come to me all the time. I get letters. I have people come to our concerts. They say, well, by God, it just ain't country music anymore, and I don't like it. I said, wait a minute. I said, hold it. Let's think about it a minute. No, it's not exactly like Hank Williams, but guess what? Hank Williams wasn't like Jimmy Rogers. Marty Stewart wasn't like Marty Robbins. Roy Clark wasn't like Roy Acuff. These young people are living out. Their dreams are coming true. Yeah, I wrote a song that I could use a little more fiddle, a little more steel guitars, but still, they're doing it the way they feel it with their God-given talent. And I say, should we just sit on the sidelines and gripe all the time? Now,
hey,
Larry, about 100 of my
Larry, we got to sell some toothpaste and hair gel and cemetery plots here.
Here's the thing I want to say. You've got a new album coming out. The brothers are still together, and you got a gospel album coming out, right?
It's the gospel according to Gatlin. I wrote all of them by myself, or co-wrote them, one with Bill Gaither, Billy Dean. We have a new single coming out called I'm an American with a Remington. It talks about if the bad guys come after me, I'm going to shoot them.
All right. Larry Gatlin still getting it done.
Brian, Larry, the big question is, what country music does Caitlyn Jenner listen to? Because, how do you program to him?
I tell you what. She puts on a guy record and a girl record at the same time.
There you go. Larry Gatlin,
thank you, Larry.
The second most famous person from Odessa, Texas. Thank you very much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it.
Love you, boys. See y'all soon.
All right, see you later, Larry.